For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Howdy doody and welcome back to the Focus Show. My name is Paul Dingeman. Glad to have you along. We are in the midst of Christmas holidays and all the great things that are happening at the end of the year. We're glad that you are along, spending a couple minutes with us. We've got Dan Lockwood is going to talk to us about Winter Whiteout, which is coming up right after the first of the year. Also, Trice Hawkins will be along to talk to us about recreation programs that will begin right after the beginning of the year. So let's begin with Dan. Welcome back to the Focus Set, sir.
Great.
Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you.
Happy holidays to you and yours, as they say. You started a project when you were chairman of the DDA, Downtown Development Authority, Winter Whiteout. And we had fun time for a few years, and then the snow melted, and we decided to do something else. But one of the things that was with it the whole time was the poetry and songwriting competition and the Bootlegger Ballader. You're going to do that again, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We started in 2010, and as you talked, we made snow a feature of our Winter Whiteout. Problem is, when you make snow your feature whiteout or feature event, you better have snow.
Right.
And we had a number of dry years. And the other thing we learned is the type of snow you have to have. You have to have packing snow.
You can't have that light stuff.
Yeah, right. And we had an awful lot of years with light stuff. And so anyhow, the snow portion has vanished, and the poetry contest continues. Every year we try to find something that relates to the history of St. Clair that we can dig out, and we've tried a number of things. Last year, if you remember, we did the Cadillac Bear.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't remember, there used to be a hotel in St. Clair called the Cadillac Hotel. And my guess is it was about where Ackett's restaurant is.
Oh, okay. Right in the middle of town.
Yeah. At that time, I think it was called Front Street.
Yep.
Then urban renewal, it was torn down. But between the 40s and 50s, there was a bear there. And the Historical Museum really knew nothing about the bear. Didn't know whether
a live bear.
It was a live bear. It was at the Cadillac Hotel. Didn't know the name. Didn't know if it was male or female. Didn't know how it got there, and didn't know how it took off. So we had to create a story for him, and it really went well. So this year, we went back to historical records. And when Jerry Amick was alive, and
what a wonderful man.
Yeah, and was involved with Historical Museum, one of the things that he used to do when he was Justice of the Peace was he'd interview some seniors. Adults.
People, older people.
And he would ask them to reminisce about growing up in St. Clair. And he interviewed two gentlemen who were bootleggers during Prohibition.
Okay.
And the two gentlemen whose nicknames were Frenchie and Blink.
Frenchie and
Blink. Were teenagers.
They just sound like fun.
Were teenagers during when Prohibition started. And they were bootleggers throughout the whole period of the bootlegging period. And the transcripts are available in the Historical Museum, so I've had the opportunity to read them. And from there, we've excerpted a few things, and we've come up with this year's legend.
Okay.
And I will say that one of our contestants from last year has already submitted his poem for this year. They're getting a little ahead of me, but that's different. Great. And he's already fact-checked this. So he's told me that he gives me the approval that it's factual is here, but he's also recognizes we do a writer's license on this thing. So I'll start off just real quick summary. There were two teenage boys. It's winter, and the St. Clair River is frozen. So what they do is there were several blind pigs in St. Clair. They've gone to a couple of the owners, and they've contracted to bring 4 cases of whiskey across the river. And their profit on this is $13.
$13. Okay.
$13. So, and their plan is to ice skate across the river. So they ice skate across, and they do it during the daylight, and they have to wait till night to come back. And while they're there, they're repacking the whiskey out of 8 cases and putting them in burlap bags and wrapping them in straw so they can get back. And Unfortunately, they were probably indulging in some adult beverages. while they were
Probably.
doing it. So it gets dark, and believe it or not, at this time, the Port Huron and Detroit train, there was a railroad train that would run along the St. Clair River. And what the bootleggers would do all year long was they would use the light from the engine to see how they crossed the river.
Okay.
And wintertime, their problem was patches of holes in the ice, and you want to avoid those.
Right.
So they come back across the river, and lo and behold, they hit an ice pack. Actually, they left a little before the train. They decided that, after indulging in some adult beverages, they decided that they could do it without the train.
Okay.
They hit an ice patch, they fell in. Fortunately for them, they survived, but they lost the whiskey. And
They lost the whiskey. That's the most important part.
And they survived with one bottle each. They come out of the river, and if you can imagine, soaking wet.
It's a long story, wild story. Go ahead.
Yeah. And it's snowing, and they looked like the abominable snowman. And in fact, there was a resident who lived on the river, and she called the police to report that the abominable snowman was seen, and he liked whiskey because she found him. What I will tell you, the little story is that Doc Carney treated Frenchie for frostbite, and he was on crutches for about 6 weeks after this. But it didn't stop him.
Carney Drive, Doc Carney.
And they never, I don't think they ever ice skated again across, but they
continued to drink.
Now, what we do is we encourage people to do their independent research. And in prior years, some people have gone up to the Michigan Room up at the Port Huron Library, where we have a lot of local history there and research. And we had one guy who actually worked with a gypsy fortune teller. And she went in her crystal ball, and he found facts that are irrefutable and very interesting. No one else has ever heard of them before, and included him. If you really want to win this event, you can't take the story and convert it into poetry. You need to add some facts that we haven't heard.
Okay. So you can be creatively use your own creative mind.
Exactly. And
you have creative license.
Yes, definitely. We give you the creative license. What I will also say, and by the way, you reward if you win this. If you win the poetry part of the contest, you receive a proclamation from the city of St. Clair naming you, next year will be the 2008 St. Clair Poet Laureate.
Okay.
And if you win the song portion of it, you will become St. Clair's 2008 Poetry Balladeer. Bootlegger
Balladeer. I love it.
And we have a gentleman who thinks this is the greatest thing of all time, so he gives us $1,000 so we can give out prize money. So
$1,000 prize money. That's a good incentive.
Yeah.
How do you break the prize money down?
$250 for first, $150 for second, and $100 for third.
That's good.
So, but I will tell you, most people compete for the proclamation, though the cash prizes aren't refused.
And the winners come to a city council meeting, if I remember correctly.
Yes, they do. I think it's the first one in February, which might be February 5th, but it's on the application. Really, if anyone wants to find anything more about it, they can go to the St. Clair on the River website.
I think they've had that up.
Okay. And you will see on the second line of the top bar, you'll see the Winter Whiteout Poetry Contest. And that'll take you to a link where you can download the legend in full and the entry form.
Beautiful. It's been fun every year. You've had some great fun. Where do you hold the competition?
Oh, LaCroix's.
Riverside Pub.
Right.
And it's a raucous, fun evening. When is that going to be?
January 24th. What I will tell you is Sheila tells me it's the one night of the year where she sells more wine than beer.
Okay. So you have real connoisseurs of poetry come to LaCroix's that evening.
I'll just put it this way. I think a lot of people come all the time, but it does gather people who like
a glass of wine. As opposed to a shot and a beer.
Right.
Dan Lockwood, it's fun. So the registration is on the webpage, stclairontheriver.com. And what's the deadline for registration?
Day of the event.
Day of the event. Okay.
And we're real simple.
Keep it simple. I like that part.
I like them ahead of time if they can, because one of the things that we do to everyone who wins is we give them a booklet, and it's not much, but it shows or lists all the entries.
Oh, okay. With your poem in there.
Yeah, with their poem in there, so they can see their poem, and so we keep track of it that way. That's why I know that this is the 9th year, and next year will be the 10th year.
You also were going to talk to us briefly about Whistles on the Water, and what date is that this year?
You know what? I think that's 24th also.
24th of September?
No, I'm sorry. It's not. It's the 29th. It's
29th
it's the last September and the last Saturday in September, which I think is the 29th. I have to go back and look. This is our 10th anniversary. And our featured boat is going to be the Christopher Columbus.
And if Jared will throw up those pictures, we can talk about the Christopher Columbus here for a second. Why did you pick a ship? Let's first talk about
Well, let's talk about
first talk about this picture. Yeah.
These are a couple pictures from last year, and I put this picture in there because one, it's just a beautiful picture, but also I think it's a garden that a lot of people don't see in St. Clair. This is a garden at the little parking lot in Palmer Park that's right across the street from Ackett's Restaurant. It's actually was funded between St. Clair Rotary Club and the Garden Club, but the Garden Club maintains, it's a perpetual garden, perennial garden. The colors change with the season. It's just a wonderful garden, and we don't showcase it enough. But yeah, I want to take the time and just tell the ladies of the Garden Club what a wonderful job they do.
All right, the next one. There we go.
Oh, this is just the boiler that we have, again, taken from the riverside on it. This event is truly unique. This is the only whistle blow that I've ever been, but the people who have attended the other one says there's no competition. And one of the reasons, what you're looking at here is a holding tank, and that holds 1,500 gallons of steam. And because of that, we can blow just about any size whistle. We have the wherewithal to. It's a tremendous amount of whistle.
Boy, it takes a lot of people to put it on.
It does, and I think your picture's in there. You're not in that one?
No, I did.
Okay. But it's all the volunteers, and this is the large manifold that we have. We can blow, actually we blow more than 20 whistles, but if you look on there, you'll see 20 whistles on there. Then we have a couple at the end, which we attach on. Again, another view of the manifold. This is a small manifold which we keep on the boardwalk, which we invite people to come down and blow. And
Dan Robbins down there.
Yes. And in fact, there's an interesting story about Dan. Dan's father was a captain for the Mercury. Mm. And for those of you who've gone to the River Crab, you will see the Mercury whistles are the two at the entrance when you walk in. And this is just a parting shot.
It's a beautiful shot.
Whistles on the water, surrounded by steam. Like I say, we generate a tremendous amount of steam, clean steam,
Great project.
Volume, and good pressure.
Lockwood, you're keeping things happening.
We talk about my Christopher Columbus. I want to talk about 2018.
I'm sorry. Go back. Go, tell me about Christopher. I had a picture of it, but I didn't see it there. Go
Okay.
ahead.
The Christopher Columbus was a whaleback boat. It was built in the 1890s. The whalebacks was a series of boats that were only sailed in the Great Lakes, truly unique to them. The Christopher Columbus was built for the Christopher Columbus Expo in Chicago in the late 1890s, the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus discovering America. The boat is rumored to have had more passengers than any other boat in history, estimated to be in excess of 3 million. And mainly because it was used as a ferry to bring people from the Great Lakes to Chicago during the Expo. The whaleback was called because it resembled a whale. It was narrow at the front, narrow at the rear, a truly unique boat. So we're featuring that this year.
You're not going to have the boat, you're going to have the whistle.
We had the whistle from the Christopher Columbus, correct.
How did you get that whistle?
You know what? I'm saving that story today.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lockwood.
Thank you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to have you. You're a wealth of information, and get lots of wonderful projects going here in the St. Clair and Blue Water area.
Great.
We'll have you back many, many times. A couple more guests coming up in just a second. Doing it by itself. Helpful. Well, hello there. A little nice to see you again. Paul Dingaman here. And Trice Hawkins has joined us now on the Focus set. And Trice, of course.
Nice to be here.
Thank you. And Trice, of course, is with the very active City of St. Clair Recreation Department.
Yes.
And you've got all the latest and the greatest about what's happening for the winter and even spring
Going
2018.
into spring. Yes, yes.
Wow.
Our winter brochure is out, and it's on our city website.
Okay.
So
what's that website?
www.cityofstclair.com.
Easy.
Really easy.
Okay.
Or just type in City of St. Clair, and
Okay.
it comes up. So all this information and more details will be on the website. But it's our winter brochure. Some of these programs are ongoing, and some start up in January. So we'll start with our adult drop-in programs. These are easy because you don't have to pre-register. You just show up on site for these programs. Some of them have a fee, like a $2 drop-in fee. So we
Okay.
have the swimmer size program out at the St. Clair High School pool.
You get a lot of people in the summer here at the pool next
Yes.
door to our studio for swimmer size, and you have
And
good
we
crowd.
carry it on, yep, at
Good
the
crowd out
indoor
at the high
pool.
school too.
So that's Mondays through Thursdays from 10 to 10:45, and it's water-resistant exercise in the shallow end of the pool. Sue Daniels is the instructor for that class. And then there's also time for lap swimming.
Okay.
And we brought back open swim
Oh.
on Wednesday nights.
Okay.
We're combining it with lap swim. So we have a couple of lanes set up for those people that want to lap swim. But if you want to bring your family and do open swim, you can do that at the same time.
That's a good idea.
So we're trying that. We want people to get out, especially during the winter, something to do.
There's a $2 drop-in, but that's
$2
not...
drop-in.
Okay.
Yep. And then co-ed volleyball, we offer this through the whole school year. So it started in the fall and it continues to the spring. But on Thursday nights, out at the St. Clair Middle School at 7:30, it's just pick teams every night, rotate and play with different levels. And the same with men's basketball, that's drop-in. They just pick teams every night, $2 drop-in, you just have to show up. And pickleball.
Pickleball is just
Pickleball.
amazing. It's held here in the building that we're in at
Yep.
301 North 6th, the East China Education Center. And every time I go by, when they're there, there's more cars and more people.
It's a great program, great activity, and a great group of people. A lot of socialization, meet new friends, socialize, and that. So that's Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 here, and then Wednesday evenings, 6 to 8. But again, it's drop-in. You don't have to register in advance. And then the high school is open during the winter for walking. The hallways, they have nice long hallways, so it's nice. I think we measured, if you go down the one long hallway, 6 times around is a mile.
Oh,
so
really?
If you want to
Okay.
keep track, you can.
Yeah.
But that's after school. And we're actually trying to start up maybe a walking club, and we're going to have a clinic on Thursday, January 18th at 6 p.m. out at the high school. And we'll have someone there to give some tips on walking and all that and get some feedback. Do people want to have scheduled walks,
Yeah.
accumulate miles, keep
Okay,
track
just
of your
have-
miles and things like
Yeah.
that? So if you can come to the clinic, that would be
Make
great.
it a little more interesting than just
Yeah.
walking down a hallway.
Yeah, or just give us your name and information, and if the club would be formed based on interests,
Mm-hmm.
so the more people, the more chance that would be offered.
Okay.
So that's a new program. And then the other drop-in program is card playing. You can play bridge twice a week at the community center, and we have euchre once a week. And
You
it's
guys
for
are busy.
all levels. They're great if you're a beginner. They'll help you learn and things like that. So those are all the drop-in programs. Some of these other ones we do want you to pre-register. And I will say, Some of these classes have minimum registration requirements, so if you wait, you know.
You might not get in.
Right, or we may have already determined that the class was not going to be offered because we
Right.
didn't have the minimum registration.
Okay.
So even if you're thinking about the program, maybe just call us and say, you know, put me on a list. And, but we have our ABC gymnastics.
Been with you for a long time.
Yep, and so they have a Monday after school and a Saturday morning gymnastics from parent taught all the way up. We have a 6 and up class.
And that's going to be held where?
That's held at our City Hall.
Okay.
They transform our multi-purpose room into a gym. And then we have our Creative Tots preschool program, and we actually start pre-registration for next fall.
For
in March.
September of
18, yeah.
18,
We
okay.
start in March taking registration
Okay.
for those programs, and that's a licensed program. And we have another new program that we're doing, the Walking Club and this Mom and Me Club. We're working with Jessica Chachu,
Okay.
who is going to school for her fitness and nutrition. And she has her business, it's called Dirt Road Fitness and Nutrition.
I love it. Dirt Road, fitness and nutrition.
Yeah,
All right.
she's doing this Mom and Me, and she's also helping with the Walking Club.
Is she going to come here next week?
We're going to try to get her
Beautiful.
here next week.
Okay.
But this is actually for an infant, age 0 to 4, and she will give you some tips and exercises you can do with your infant
Oh, great.
child or baby. Like they have the baby bench press and stroller workout.
You're bench pressing your baby? Is that what you're
That's
doing?
right.
Oh, golly.
So, so that's another.
Got to
new
be a law
program.
against that. Child endangerment.
So, and then we have ballroom dancing. I don't know if Dan would want me to tell you this, but
Mr.
Dan,
Lockwood?
that was here before. He's goes to our ballroom dancing class.
And I understand he just trips the light fantastic. He's just a great, great dancer. I've never
But-
danced with him, but I hear those rumors.
That would be a good Christmas present.
There you
or
go.
New Year's resolution to learn how to dance and take ballroom dancing. And actually, we offer fall, winter, spring, and we'll do a summer session too. So those are programs just ongoing.
Okay.
And we try to do our fitness exercises, classes. So we have Zumba, and we have circuit training. And I'll do a little testimonial, like not saying it right.
You're saying it right.
Yeah, testimonial. I took the circuit training class for 6 weeks, and I have to say I feel like I've toned,
Wonderful.
strengthened, and
Well, good
I
for
think I
you.
lost some inches too.
Good.
So, and we actually have a low intensity class and a high intensity class. So if you're intimidated, you hear boot camp.
Right.
You know, there's a low intensity class, but in each class you can make modifications and work at your own speed. But one other fitness, and this is what Jessica hopefully will talk about next week, is we're doing a lose to win contest, which is a weight loss challenge, kind of like a Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
But in a short amount of time, 11, 12 weeks, it's a contest and there's a cash prize. Right now, we are guaranteeing at least a $300
Wow.
cash prize. And if you register, there is a fee, but $10 from the fee goes into the cash prize. So
Okay.
if we get 10 people, we add another
Yeah.
$100. And what's great about this is it finishes up the week before spring break. So you'd be in
You'd be
shape.
ready for, yeah, right.
And you'd have some extra spending money.
That's right.
For your spring vacation.
You got a daughter and daddy
Daddy-daughter
Valentine Day,
Valentine dance.
which has really been successful
Yeah,
forever.
we do that every year. And then we do a couple of winter youth sports. We do an indoor soccer program and an indoor lacrosse program.
Okay.
So I think I touched on everything.
But it's www.cityofstclair.com. Look under the recreation department, and all of these programs we just discussed are there.
Yep.
And make sure you get in and register, because some programs will fill up quick. Some
Exactly.
programs will not happen at all if we don't have people.
Right. If you call like the week after it starts,
Right.
you
late.
missed out.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Merry Christmas
seeing
to
you.
you.
All right, coming up next, the lady from the Riverbank Theater, Kathy Vertin, will be along to tell us about the 2018 season at the Riverbank and the Snug. We'll be right back. We're back with a friend by the name of Kathy Vertin. Nice to see you. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that kind of good stuff.
Same to you.
You are a delight to see because you've done so many wonderful things in Marine City, and it is continuing. And you've got a season at the Riverbank and Snug coming up around the corner that I thought the public better find out about now.
Well, thank you for having us on to talk about it.
Oh, no, it's important because you're filling up both of those theaters consistently and selling out consistently. So if people want to really enjoy what you're presenting, they better get involved. Go ahead.
Well, we have a great loyal patron base. They
Yeah.
just keep turning out show after show and selling out the shows, and it's just wonderful to see them coming back.
Yeah.
You know, we calculated we had 17,000 people come through to see shows this year.
In
And they're repeat. Some of them are repeat, obviously.
2017, 17,000
Yes,
people.
You know,
That's
you don't think about it
spectacular.
like that, but
Wait a
and-
minute, this is Marine City, Michigan.
So, well, there are a lot of the same people coming back, you know,
Well, that's
over and
okay.
over. But each time they come, you know, they're having dinner, they're buying a pretzel from the Sweet Tooth, or you know, they're coming to see a show. So it's really nice.
A wonderful thing for the whole general area, Marine City, St. Clair. It's been good for everybody.
It's been a lot of fun.
So what's 2018 bring us?
2018, we have another 8-show season, 8 productions that we're doing. That doesn't include the others that we bring in.
Okay.
So we usually have anywhere from 10 to 12 productions in the year, but 8 are produced by us. So,
Okay.
and that's what we call our season, and our season tickets are available. That, you know, 1 seat for each show.
Right.
It's a great season too. We try to do a good blending of musicals and plays. We'd like to have family-friendly content, as well as some that are just a night out for adults. And
Right.
you know, our content is never
It's never raunchy, racy.
or,
right.
you know, but it's still adult content that adults enjoy more. It's a fun night out for adults. So now that's what's on stage right now. That one, the best Christmas pageant ever. It is completely sold out. So, which is really nice.
That's the second year
Really
in a
nice.
row. And the hometown holiday, which I attended, it was sold out, and that's
Yeah.
been sold out for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's a fun radio hour show.
It's a fun radio show. And there we've got the whole
That's
season
the
up.
season right there. And what we've done this year is we've extended the show runs. So we
Okay.
usually go 3 weekends on a play and 4 weekends on a musical. This year we're going 5 weekends on a musical and 4 weekends on a play.
Okay.
Because we figured, why are we closing with sold out houses? You know,
Right,
let
right,
it trail off
right,
a little.
right.
So we opened the season with Seussical,
Okay.
which is a terrific musical with all the Dr. Seuss characters. Now, it is performed by adults. There are some children roles specific to children, but for the most part, I don't want people to get the impression it's a good show for children to come and see, but it's performed by professional adults.
Okay.
And then we have The Nerd, which is a hilarious play.
Okay, I've not
That'll
heard
be
of
at
that
the
one.
Snug. It's very funny.
Okay.
It's going to be at the Snug, and that'll be a good one. Titanic, of course, everybody knows how that ends, but the musical is unique. The music is stunning. It's beautiful music, and really gets to the heart of what the crew of that ship, what they were wrestling with and what they were going through. So we like to say that the story of the Titanic is about the Titanic
Okay.
here. We don't have the fictional Rose and those
Right,
characters.
Right.
Then we have Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Okay, that's been
Which
around, but
is-
I
it's a
don't think
great
it's been
show.
performed around here ever.
I don't think so either, and it's a fantastic show. You know, it was a Tony Award-winning musical and then an Academy Award-winning movie, and it's set in Jazz Age, New York City. It's just a lot of fun. It's got some plot twists that are really fun. So we hope we'll get a great turnout for that. And then Dixie Swim Club is in August down at the Snug Theater. It's a great play with 5 women, and it explores their relationships from when they were on the swim team together all the way through the aging process.
Wow.
They get together once a year, and it's sweet, and charming, but it's also they're
So it's not a
hilarious
musical,
women.
it's a drama.
No, they're hilarious women, and their relationships are just
Is it, sometimes we've had plays that people have written, not necessarily been on Broadway, but has this one been?
Dixie Swim is one of those.
This
Yep,
one of
it's
those?
an off-Broadway.
It's off Broadway?
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a fun play.
Okay.
Baskerville, we have that. That's a Sherlock Holmes mystery, but it's a complete spoof. So anyone who saw 39 Steps, the Hitchcock's 39 Steps that we did, this is very much in that vein.
Okay.
So it's a Ken Ludwig play, which is What Moon Over Buffalo that we just did. That was a Ken Ludwig. And it's just, Brittany and I read the script and said, we have to do this. This is really funny. You know, a lot of 3 characters playing, or 3 actors playing a bunch of different characters. So they really have to be good at taking on different personalities. And then, of course, Escanaba in the Moonlight, which
I've not seen that yet, so I'll have to come down and see it at your place.
It's funny.
But it's been around, Michigan.
And of course, Jeff Daniels of Michigan, you know, wrote the play, and it's just so funny. And we thought, here we are sitting in the middle of, you know, hunting central, hunting and fishing, and so we thought that theme would.
And then bringing back A Christmas Story.
The musical version of A Christmas Story, and Ralphie, you know, good old Ralphie and the leg lamp.
Right.
So it's
going to be a great season.
It's a great season. There's something for everyone in this season.
I can go online to riverbank.com, Riverbank Theater.
Riverbanktheater.com.
And the forms are there to buy 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or all 12 plays.
Now we have gift certificates on sale because we think that Gift of the Arts is a wonderful Christmas present. So we have gift certificates on sale. We also have season tickets on sale. We are raising our ticket price slightly. Our costs have gone up, our licensing fees. It's amazing to me what it costs to license a show, and it just keeps going up, edging up. But we're raising the prices $2. So our tickets will be $28
that's still
per show.
Really cheap compared to driving down to Detroit or driving someplace else. It's still supporting local businesses, and
we make sure the
professional
quality,
actors.
We do. We make sure the quality level's high. We pay our actors. We pay our musicians. So we did raise the ticket price $2, $28. But our season tickets, you can secure the season ticket for $200 for all 8 shows. So that's $25 a show. So if you're one of those people who comes to see every show, get a season ticket. That's the way to do it.
That's right. Okay, while you're here, I drive by the beautiful Inn on the Park, on Water Street. It's coming along great. Where are we at? When are you going to open?
We're still targeting March. We're doing kind of a soft opening in March. We want to do some introductory weekends to the community. But we're on track.
Looks great.
It's coming together inside.
Parking lot went in a month or 2 ago. Sidewalks are in.
Yep, all the siding's up. The
and
drywall's
you're having
just about
fun
done.
buying stuff for each room.
Oh, yes. All that shopping.
Yes. It's a terrible job somebody has to do.
Yeah, it has. It's been a fun project, and we're really looking forward to it. We'll have a restaurant on premises called the Inn Kitchen.
Okay, I like the name.
And it's got a screened porch outside to take advantage of that beautiful freighter view that we have. So, you know, we're really looking forward to getting this thing opened, getting it launched.
Right.
And that's our March target. Our March date still looks good.
When, just for curiosity, when did you start the hotel? 2 years ago, maybe?
Not even. We started talking about it then, but it's really only been a year now that we've been working on it. And Duvall Construction, we're working with a local contractor, Mark Duvall, and he's done a great job keeping this on budget and on track.
That's the key.
So,
That's the key.
Yeah.
Well, Merry Christmas to you and
Same to
Tom.
you.
And we've got a great lineup, and we encourage everybody to go online.
We do. You know, I should mention also we have our season auditions.
Okay.
So there's quite a few every year. We see new faces, and we see some of the same faces, great talent coming back in, and we're holding our season auditions on January 7th and January 9th, and I encourage, you know, any local actors to go online and register and turn out.
So I may come and audition, but you will pick where I go?
That's what we would do.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. They typically come in and they prepare material to present. They present their material, and we see if we've got a spot for them that they're interested in performing.
You might say, well, you were good at that, but boy, I think you'd be really great over here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
So just like to mention.
How about summer camps?
Summer camps, we're doing summer camps again. We will have 4 camps this July and August. And we also have workshops planned for Performing Arts Academy. We've been talking about different workshops we always have our little snug bugs, which are the kindergarten through second grade. And then we're looking at doing elementary, middle school, and having a separate high school program to really help the kids fine-tune their audition materials.
Okay, very good.
So
Very good.
that's what's in the
Well,
works.
thank you so much for what you're
you.
doing for the community, and we always want to support you and try to have you come
appreciate
in.
that.
And it's just remarkable. You started 5 years ago,
5 years ago, yes.
and
yeah.
and what you've accomplished in those 5 years is remarkable.
Well, we've
we-
enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, well,
I think that shows.
that's obvious. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.